placement points and that minigun mini, they go perm.
Yeah, they definitely do. And this is the very sexy matches that we know and love here on EU. They got so close to winning it there, Kelly, as well at the end. You know, you mentioned it came to the heel. Now they've sort of, tuned it back a little bit, right?
But listen, we still have 2 games to go. Kelly, we can still pull this off. We can still do this.
Listen, everyone always talks about caster curses, and I think that's hogwash. But then I spend half of our halftime show talking about Queasy's story in 2nd place, missing out on 1st place in the Invitational, missing out on 1st place last year. And now I'm wondering, why did you do this?
met you, ever since I met you.
Fortunately enough for them, Malabuka not checking the bushes.
Da 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 da. If you wanna know around,
The aggression, they used to be thinking about the moves they made.
I feel like I could fly. Get you, baby.
Yeah, you're getting a little bit
Get you out of my head.
strange shot. Mr. Savage and the entire trio towards the west. It is going to be moving the trio.
Hey, yeah, yeah.
Two teams to take a smash pad to the Boogers mid.
Hey, yeah, yeah.
Constantly let them know how they feel. And since it's own
Ooh, get you out of my head. La di da di da da da.
Set up very, very nicely for the rest of the game.
some of the action going on. Baca getting a knock on wood after hasn't seen up the elimination yet, but Dr. has been passed out. They take
I feel like I could fly. La la la, la la la. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Even when I'm not around, even when I'm not around. Ever since I met you, ever since I met you, I feel like I could fly.
constantly cheering for anybody.
Get you, baby. Hey, yeah, I feel like I could fly. Hey, yeah, you make me feel good. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. Get you out of my head.
About how clicks.
I feel like I could fly.
A little bit hesitant to go ahead and push, right? Are we going to see something similar right now? Will they go ahead and full commit? I mean, 12th place going into game number 11. You would imagine they got to be thinking this time, we got to go for it.
But sometimes if you let it sit too long, your blade starts to go cold. And if they don't act fast, they're gonna maybe have to watch this opportunity completely pass them by. The big thing here too is that Kanata and Bolt, they're not even replenishing their shields. They are totally content with being knocked inside their surge base. That's your idea. So of course he's just reforming all of the materials, looking for extra points as well.
I mean, that's scary. You're sitting on a global stage right now. I can tell you right now, Jacob, if I was sitting up there with no shield on, knowing that so many of these competitors have been making plays on these exact type of bases. We've seen it time and time again. Not just throughout the year. This exact competition. Plays for the bottom of these surge towers. They are made all the time. You have no shield right now?
It's in my head. I'm thinking, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. We're at the OXR HQ, and they know Rapid is wandering around on the low ground, replenishing all of the materials that they use to build that surge tower, and they're just waiting, like I said, for that knock or for an opportunity to get that 3v1 onto Rapid. Whichever one comes first.
But if Rapid goes one step too far, Iamzo clicks Higgs. The moment that they realize that he's by himself, Rapid would actually be the best player to win a nice 3v1 on because he's the one carrying everything. Material's just about, he's still trying to finalize just the last few components. Clicks, Iamzo, Higgs, just creeping forward. Rapid make his way up, but they've been exposed. They took moments too long, and now Rapid on an alert mayday situation here. But Bolt
instantly comes the crash pad. Mustache, Queasy, Swizzy, they're trying to rotate in that direction. Finally, they get another opportunity, and it works. Vanya goes down. Mustache, Swizzy, and Queasy are going after second place. Between these two, they can go a little bit more. I think Barry is still running out of gas. This deep in his
Richie 1v3s throughout the divisional pivot, and even in the majors, Ritual was putting up quite a stellar performance, but now things are going to fall directly into the line of sight here for PA, Laser and King. They've already spotted out two other teams based on mountains right next to us. These next couple of rotates could be as difficult, but Tornado, Rapid, and actually trying to do it from underneath. They're hoping they can just never left
come out. That's Disco, that's Striker, that's Kanu. Just yet, she needs to buy time. No extra space, there's space freezing on the other side. Brazilian region is on top. They've showed up. They've reached the top 10 in the leaderboard with a whole other trio. And this is a chance to shine bright. Frankie, we need to know what they're thinking.
We do. But it is worth it. Please vote on your feet. We've got Ricardo translating for us. Stand up, please. Striker, I need to come to you first. Music. To your mind during that.
Uma batalha. Ah, a gente tinha que ganhar, né? Entrar no top 10, vai chegar no top 10 aí, subir na tabela.
Ah, tem uma luta Benito, hein? Ah, tem uma
it through the storm again. You did it on your own again. Goosebumps in your skin. Do you feel what I feel? I'm waiting on you to know.
Morning, fam. I hope that you are locked and loaded because that last game, so many developments. VR coming up massive. 6